Mom is cheating on my dad, and I found out. Never thought I'd feel this betrayed by my own family, but here I am, and it's eating me alive. It started with something stupid, her phone buzzing at 2 a.m., and I swear I didn't want to look. I even told myself not to, but my hands moved before my brain could stop them. The first message already felt wrong, and then I kept scrolling, and everything inside me dropped. These weren't harmless texts you laugh off later. They were detailed, affectionate, planned, full of inside jokes, emojis, hotel dates, dinner reservations, a whole secret life my dad knew nothing about. This is my mom, the same woman who raised me, tucked me in, warned me about cheating, loyalty, family values, and I'm staring at proof that she's been lying to him every single day. I can't unsee it. I can't unknow it. Now every day at home feels fake. Dinner feels like a performance. Laughter feels scripted. Hugs feel disgusting. And every time my dad smiles at her like he trusts her completely, my chest tightens and I want to scream. I think about telling him constantly, but I don't because I know it would destroy him, and once it's out there, there's no fixing anything. I hate her for doing this. I hate him for being blind. And I hate myself for noticing the signs too late, or maybe noticing them and choosing to ignore them. My stomach hurts all the time. I replay the messages in my head when I try to sleep. Food tastes wrong. The worst part is the hypocrisy. Listening to her talk about respect and loyalty while knowing exactly what she's been doing behind his back. I feel trapped because I love them both, and loving them while knowing this feels like carrying a secret that's burning a hole through me. I'm 21, and I thought this phase of my life would be about figuring myself out, not silently surviving inside a house built on lies, watching my parents turn into people I don't recognize. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with this information. I just know it changed how I see love, trust, and family forever, and I don't think I'm ever going to be the same after this. And what makes it harder to swallow is who it is. It's her boss. She's 46, and I hate that my brain keeps comparing him to my dad. My dad is 55, genuinely kind, soft-spoken, the type who remembers birthdays, brings home snacks he knows we like, and trusts people without suspicion. Watching that difference exist in the same reality is brutal. My mom chose someone dominant and flashy over someone steady and loyal, and I can't stop wondering when that became enough for her to risk everything. Every time my dad does something small and thoughtful, it hurts more, because he has no idea who he's being compared to behind his back. I feel disgusted, angry, and embarrassed all at once, like I'm carrying a secret that doesn't belong to me, but is slowly poisoning how I see both of them. And I don't know how to look at my family the same way ever again. I'm crying right now. Update 1. I deleted the screenshots. I'm not snitching. Saw my dad smiling today and realized destroying him doesn't help me, so I'm forgiving her. Not cause she's right, because I'm tired of being angry. Holding on to this toxicity was draining me. Cleared the drive. It's done. Sometimes peace is better than being right. But I am not deleting this from my private files. Update 2. Y'all are wild in the direct messages, but honestly, it's clicking. I've been reading everything, and the mindset shift is crazy. Someone said I should just become the boss of her. Make her obey. And that hit diff. She walks around acting like she's the CEO of this family, but she is literally nothing without my dad. She's living on his dime while disrespecting him. So why should I tell him and ruin his life? If I blow this up now, I lose all my leverage. I don't get what I want. I'd rather use this opportunity to squeeze her dry without hurting Dad. Let him stay happy and clueless while I destroy her slowly from the inside. Honestly, the idea of controlling her, using her, owning the situation, not a bad plan at all. Making Mom mine for a few days. I'm gonna get her boss's wife number 2. Update 3. Okay, I actually did it. Dad went to run errands, and I just walked up to her and showed her the phone. Didn't even yell. Just said, block him right now or I send this to Dad. She went ghost white. Tried to stammer some BS excuse about work, but I told her to cut the crap. I stood over her while she opened Insta and contacts. Watched her press block. Watched her delete the thread. She looked so small. Usually, she's the one barking orders, but she was literally shaking holding the phone. Told her if I ever see his name again, it's over. She promised. She's currently in her room, napping, deaf crying. And I'm just sitting here realizing I actually run this house now. Dad is safe. Update 4. I uninstalled Reddit months ago, now logging back. Thanks for all for supporting my mental strength. I'm going through a lot. My insurance price jumped 45% for no reason. Then I read this lawsuit about GM selling our driving data. Last month my car insurance renewal came and the price went up almost 45%. I was so confused because I didn't have any accident, no tickets, nothing changed. I started searching online to see what is happening, and I found this official lawsuit document filed by the Texas Attorney General against General Motors and OnStar. English is not my first language, so sorry if I make some grammar mistake, but I want to share what I read in these court papers because it is crazy. Basically, GM put tracking technology inside more than 14 million vehicles in US and over 1.8 million in Texas alone. They were collecting continuous driving data like exactly when you start and stop your trip, every time you brake hard or accelerate fast, if you drive over 80 miles per hour, and even if you and your passenger wear seatbelt or not. I always thought this OnStar thing was just for emergency if you get an accident. But the lawsuit says GM turned it into a big data business. The worst part is how they get people to agree at dealership. When you buy the car, the dealer gives you screen to tap. If a customer tries to tap, I decline, the screen shows big warning message. The warning says if you decline, safety feature like automatic crash response and emergency services will be turned off. So of course people get scared about safety and click accept. But GM didn't tell them that accepting means GM sell their driving telemetry to data brokers. They made deals with companies like LexisNexis, Verisk, and Wajo. These data brokers take your raw car sensor data, calculate a secret driving score, and sell it directly to auto insurance companies. Then the insurance company looks at your score and raises your monthly bill if you had hard brakes or drove late at night. Now the Texas AG is suing them under DTPA law to stop this and make them delete the data. Also, FTC and federal class action courts in MDL 3115 are looking into this whole connected car data tracking. Has anyone here requested their consumer report from LexisNexis or Verisk yet to see if your car was reporting on you? Yeah, about new coworker? So we have this new guy, 50-year-old male that's been working with me for a month and one half. And it genuinely feels like I'm babysitting instead of working alongside with him. The first red flag is he was bought in by a non-chef manager. And right on his first day, he's bragging to me that he has 5 years experience working by himself, etc. A manager from a different department asked him for a chicken sandwich. And new guy asked, "How would you like your chicken, medium, medium rare, well done?" The manager immediately laughed at him and told there's no such thing, chicken is well done. Again, another incident regarding chicken is he would season raw chicken on a sizzler platter, fully cook it, and then proceed to throw cooked chicken back on the same sizzle platter that he used already. I told him multiple times, and he would say, okay, but then wouldn't listen. I had to tell the chef, and then he listens. He doesn't have accountability whatsoever. He left the deep fryer on 2 days on in a row. I found out because 2 chefs told me in the morning that it was left on and that they would talk to him. I told him about the fryer being left on, and right away catches an attitude saying it wasn't me and that it was Harold, fake name. I told him that's not possible for Harold to leave it on when he doesn't even close. He literally blames Harold and the other guy, so I can only imagine what he tries to put on me. When he closes, it isn't even busy and he can't even do the bare minimum, like pick basil or refill bottles. So when I come in on the morning shift with only 1 hour prep time, I'm pretty much screwed. He fires 1 ticket at a time. There is multiple incidents where I haven't even went to chef because I tried many times to give the benefit of the doubt, but last night was the last straw. I told him yesterday to make sure to change the ice before you close for the salmon. And right away he gets combative stating that Harold and the other guy doesn't do it, but I do it all the time. So I tell him the person that closes does it. Harold and other guy doesn't close. He tells me okay. So sure enough I come in and the ice isn't changed. The fish is drenched in water. Chef sees it and gets pissed and then told him when he came in. New guy gets mad at me and told me why couldn't I change the ice. I told him to ask chef why. I'm not the only co-worker who has issues with him because both Harold and other guy both already went to the chef directly to complain about him. And so far new guy has been in the office over 3 times, whereas all of us fairly new in the union job, not in the office once. I had 2 different people from different departments tell me he's sneaky. He already got reported to HR by Harold. At our place the cooks are expected to have actual experience working at a hotel. The only reason he was bought in was because he knew the manager. And to be honest, I genuinely don't want him here, because if he gets into the union, then he's basically going to be stuck with me. So am I overreacting? Roommate constantly follows me whenever I leave my room. Y'all, I am fed the duck up and I don't know what to do anymore. Almost every damn time I leave my room, my roommate also leaves her room. It's incessant. Whenever I go to the bathroom, I hear her door open and she goes into the kitchen to do something almost like she's waiting for me to leave the bathroom. Sometimes she does actually just wait in front of the bathroom as soon as I get in there. Whenever I go into the kitchen, she decides that it's suddenly time for her to do shoot in the kitchen. I swear to God, it's like the sound of me doing something outside of my room is some sort of subconscious cue for her to leave her room. She is the only one in my apartment that does this. She does it to my brother too. I can rarely leave my room without her following me. I can never cook without her getting in the way, and she even sometimes acts surprised that there is no room for her in the kitchen, even though the literal reason she left her room is because she heard me out here. I can't even quickly open the fridge to get a snack or glass of water or whatever without hearing her ducking door open, and suddenly she's hovering over me and whatever I'm doing. I will literally be sitting out there doing nothing, and she will come out of her room to hover over me doing nothing. I have to go back into my room to get her to go back to her room. She won't even have anything to do out there. I will literally go back to my room, and she will have done nothing and then gone back to her room, because me going back to my room got her to go back to hers. She will be home all ducking day and in her room all day and not leave her room until she hears me leaving mine. I am going insane. I don't even know if she's even aware that she has this habit, but my God, I am losing my ducking mind. I need to break up with my boyfriend. I don't know how to rip the band-aid off. I've been with him for over half a decade now. This is my first relationship ever. I have nothing to compare it to, which I think is why I am still here. After multiple broken promises and sexually dubious encounters, I really need to leave. It's been horrible for my mental health for a long time. I've tried to break things off before, and it just felt so gigantic and way bigger than me. He was so devastated that he threw up. He expressed feeling no purpose to life anymore, that he was living his life for me and our future. This was absolute hell, trying to figure out if I needed to contact his parents about that. Never want to go through that again. He shot off promises of never asking for certain sexual acts again. Spoiler alert. He did them to me anyway while on a trip with our friends, likely knowing that I would want to be as agreeable as possible with him to keep him in a good mood to act normal and not pouty and stonewallish. No matter what he promises, the sexual coercion is always going to be there. It just becomes more and more covert the more I call it out. He cannot accept that I can't meet his needs, even though I've been so honest and straightforward about that multiple times. It's been a year since I first initiated breaking up, once more after that. I have to do it for good this time, but I have no idea where to start. I've never successfully broken up with someone before, especially not in such a serious relationship. Here are my obstacles. I have no privacy. I'd like to do it over the phone, but I live with my parents and I work late into the evening. They're already home by the time I get home. Our days off are the same, so they're home all the time, and the house is too small for me to have such a loaded conversation privately. I also really do not want to do it before my shift. That's not an option. I can't end it in person, which would have been ideal. I tried that the first time when we were living in residence for school. We slept together, and the breakup went completely ignored for months. We are now long distance, and he visits me. I'm not going to make him come to me just to dump him and make him go home in such a horrible emotional state. Also, we would have no privacy for that type of conversation. I can't go visit him because I don't have my license. I'm not ending it over text. One thing I am really worried about is his lack of a support system. He has made me his everything, which has been incredibly draining. He doesn't really have many friends, and he lives at home in the middle of nowhere. He is miserable there, and he says all he looks forward to is seeing me. I know this is really bad codependency and not my responsibility, but this is someone I care about. I feel so heinous and cold for reminding myself that it's not my problem, and he needs to figure it out himself. I know it could benefit him because it will force him to grow and change so that he won't feel so miserable, but I can't help but feel responsible for him possibly having a crisis or extreme depression. My best hope is waiting for me to have a day off home alone and I'm able to do it, but I've had that opportunity before and still could not bring myself to do it. The thought nauseated me, even though he literally violated me, and I have every right to break up with him over that. I have a massive issue where I feel like when I say or do something that upsets anyone, especially in a major way, I am doing something terribly wrong. I have like zero backbone. The relationship has degraded any self-esteem and self-respect I had left. I fawn like crazy with him. I always feel like I am doing the wrong thing. I never trust myself no matter how objectively I look at things. I understand if reading this frustrates you. I am extremely frustrated with myself. I'm just hoping I can get some solid words or someone to tell me they've been there and what they did. Even just instructions on how to respectfully break up with someone in a serious relationship. I've been with him my entire adult life. I have no idea what to do. Nothing I've done has seemed to work.